The main reason that SSNIT terminated the process is that we listened to the objections from the stakeholders and we decided to terminate the process. One of the points to make very clear, and I don't think it's been made clear in the dispatches, although we mentioned it explicitly in our press conference, is that after the preferred bidder was chosen, which was Rock City, we went into a negotiation process. It was the management and board of SSNIT that rejected the terms of payment. Let's make that very clear. It was the management and the board of SSNIT that rejected the terms of payment. The terms of payment obviously were the subject of negotiations, and therefore we sought to continue negotiations to reach a solution that is acceptable to all. During that process, the unions raised the same objection that they were not in favor of the terms of payment, and indeed they extended that they were not in favor at all. So that triggered a process of engagement which I outlined earlier. And I think we've arrived at a point where all parties have found it in their interests to terminate the process. We now really just have to go back to the drawing board and find a solution to the problem of non-performing assets.
So that's quite interesting to say that it was the management and board that rejected the terms of payment proposed by Rock City. So that means that it's not even necessarily our opposition as organized labor or whatever that led to this process. It's almost like the process itself was not successful within itself, if you follow, because the terms of payment they proposed, indeed, that same capital advisors letter that was put out in the public seems to agree to what you're saying about the board and management not agreeing to the terms of payment, because I think that also said that the terms of payment were not favorable. So the point I'm trying to make deducing from what you're saying is that then maybe you're terminating the process because you failed to arrive at a favorable financial conclusion, not necessarily because organized labor is angry.
I think both of them apply. I mean, I wouldn't belittle organized labor's position at all. They have a stark difference in terms of the way we should have gone about this process and whether we should have started the process at all. But the point you make there is correct, in that our own internal processes arrived at a point where we did not accept the terms, and therefore we were negotiating for better terms. But we did not agree to anything. And I think also if you listen to the public discourse, the impression at one point that was even created was that these hotels had been sold, when indeed they hadn't. So I think that's a point of emphasis, and indeed it's a point that I believe all the various unions should take into account